Mr. President, trade union and employer representatives, excellencies, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure and a privilege to address this August Assembly on behalf of the Government of Sri Lanka. I want to thank the ILO Director General for the timely report on the social contract, which addresses the injustices, inequalities and insecurities we face today, while reaffirming our commitment to social justice. Mr. President, the Sri Lanka economy began its recovery in 2023, following the deep crisis of 2022, which was already aggravated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Decisive policy adjustments and structural reforms implemented by the government with the support of development partners helped restore microeconomic conditions significantly. The economic adjustments program yielded promising outcome in 2023. By the end of the year, inflation was contained at single-digit levels, and the economy expanded in the second half of the 2023. Ending 2 years of economic contraction, foreign reserves have also been steadily increasing, bringing hope to our people. This progress is partly due to government interventions promoting safe, orderly and regular migration for employment. Mr. President, every successive government has struggled to improve the living conditions of Ceylon tea plantation workers. Last month, we increased their salary by 70%, the highest increment they have received in the last 200 years. Mr. President, I am pleased to inform the DG ILO that we are enacting a new labour law, the Employment Act, to reform existing labour legislation, streamline the legal framework, eliminate discrimination and addresses contemporary challenges in the world of work. Once enacted, this law will cover domestic workers, and we will ratify ILO Convention 189. Accordingly, we plan to ratify ILO Convention 155 and 190 with the enactment of this Act. As a government, we believe in the importance of the comprehensive social security system. As outlined in the ILO Convention 102, we are developing a comprehensive social security policy with the ILO's support. Furthermore, my ministry has embarked on a journey to bring social justice to informal sector workers. The Dignity of Labour program aims to enhance the recognition, safety and dignity of informal sector workers nationwide. Under this program, informal sector workers will be organized and national level council will be established based on their occupations to determine employment terms and conditions. Mr. President, we are also digitalizing the entire labour market by developing the National Labour Market Information System and the process of migration for employment. Mr. President, lastly, to increase female workforce participation and ensure decent work for women, we have initiated a program to train 10,000 care workers in collaboration with the ILO and the IOM Colombo office. I urge representatives present here to support this initiative in any way possible. I thank you.